Okay, I think now we can start. We have more people now. Sorry. So we're gonna start the class. Okay. Today we're gonna start with a bit of a review, and then we're gonna work on another extra activity that I will be explaining to you. Um, and yeah, and that's pretty much. So for the ones that just joined, sorry. How are you today? Good. How's your holidays? If you can react with a thumbs up. Thank you, Jennifer, Elisa. Okay, great. So, Mariluham. Okay, great. So, we're gonna start now. We're gonna, for this activity, I will need people to read, okay? You can unmute yourself when I tell you to do it. So, and then when you finish reading, we're gonna interact in the chat box, okay? So, for example, we're gonna have a person, we can say Jennifer, reading something, and when Jennifer finishes reading the part that she is supposed to read, we can start answer, okay? Are we clear? Can we react? Yes. Thank you, Jennifer. Awesome. Okay. So without further ado, we're gonna start. Thank you, Viviana. Okay. So we're gonna start with this. So we're gonna start as I to reviewing a bit of vocabulary today, and it will be useful for me for some people to read it. Okay. So since Jennifer was my example, Jennifer, can you please be so kind and read the first part, please?
Hi, teacher. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. So if
Yes, again.
yeah, can you read the first sentence paragraph, please?
Yes. A time or structure that was explicitly created to commemorate a person or event, or which has become relevant to a social group as a part of their remembrance or historic time or cultural, and I don't know that word, heritage.
Heritage, very good, thank you, Jennifer.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
so do you remember what kind of art is this? Can you now send it on the chat box, please? And then we're gonna check it together. If you remember, again, it's a type of structure that was explicitly created to commemorate a person or event, or which has become relevant to a social group as part of their remembrance of historic times or cultural heritage. Statue, okay, any other options? Have we got any other option apart from statue? I don't know, Celia, Enzo. Monument, Celia says monument, okay. We have more options for monuments. Thank you, Enzo and Ivan. Pass, Viviana. Viviana said sculpture, okay, that's another option. So let's check. So this is, yes, a monument, sorry. This is a monument, very good. So remember, just to go back again, sorry, is a type of structure that when we talk about monuments, is about commemorating a person or event. Remember in the last class, we were talking about the obelisk in Buenos Aires, which is to commemorate the foundation of Buenos Aires. So we can go to the next one. So can I have Chicho, please?
Yes, teacher.
Thank you.
The act of using tools to shape something from a material by scraping away portion of that material.
Thank you. So what is that? Do you remember what kind of art is that? Again, you can send it on the chat box. Um, we have carving. Enzo says sculpture. And Ivan said carving. Any other option apart from those? We have sculpture and carving. Any other option? Okay. So let's check. Yes, it's carving. Yeah, remember when we talk about carving, we talk about when we use a tool to kind of remove or to scrape away some sort of material that can be wood, it can be clay, or even remember I showed you the picture of pumpkin like in Halloween. That is also carving. Thank you. So let's go to the next one. Can I have Elisa? Elisa, are you there? Okay, let's choose for another one. Enzo.
Yes.
Thank you.
The process of forming vessels and other objects with clay and other ceramic materials, which are fired at high temperatures to give them a hard, durable form.
Thank you, Enzo. So what kind of art is this? Ivan says poetry. Okay. Any other example? Sorry, any other guess? No. Maria Lohan also says poetry, and this is, yes, poetry. Very good. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Thank you, Viviana. Ivan Valetbo, can you read, please?
Yes, teacher.
Thank you.
Kind of art that does no attempt to represent an accurate depiction of a visual reality, but instead use shapes, colors, forms, and gestural to marks to achieve its effect.
Thank you. So what kind of art is this? Here we have a really interesting part that it says, does not attempt to represent an accurate depiction of a visual reality. That is a key part. What kind of art is this? Remember we talk about colors in that we don't know the meaning. We're not very sure about what the artist is trying to express with this kind of art. Any guess? Again, remember you can send it on the chat box. Thank you, Celia. Very good. Yeah, this is abstract painting. As you can see, yeah, remember when we talk about abstract painting, and thank you, Jennifer. We usually we have an artist painting any sort of colors or shapes or anything that we're not sure about the meaning, but we still consider it art. So let's go to the next one. So Maria Lujan, can you read the next one, please?
Yes, teacher.
Thank you.
A painting, drawing, photograph, or engraving of a person, especially one depicting only the face or head and shoulders.
Thank you, Maria Lujan. Can you send the answer on the chat box, please? Remember, here we have the keywords, face, head, or shoulders. Thank you, Pilar. Yeah, we're talking about portrait. Thank you, Ivan, Celia. Yeah, portrait, very good. So let's go to the next one. Portrait, okay. Can I have Pilar, please, if you could read it?
Yes, teacher.
Thank you.
A piece of art made by sticking various different materials, such as photograph and piece of paper or fabric onto baking.
Thank you. So what kind of art is this? Here the key words are photograph and pieces of paper. Thank you, Ivan. Yeah, we have collage. Yeah, that is collage. Remember when we talk about collage is when we paste lots of picture of piece of fabric to create like a whole different art with it. Okay, so we can continue. Collage. Can I have Viviana? Viviana Paez, please.
Yes, teacher.
Thank you.
An object made from a car material, especially person or animal, usually life signs or
Thank you. So what kind of art is this? Can you send sculpture according to Chicho? Okay. How we got? So we can check. This is a statue. Okay. Just to go back and recheck, it says, sorry, it says an object made from a hard material, especially stone or metal to look like a person or animal using, and here this is a keyword, life size. Usually when we talk about statues, they are like the size of a person or even larger, and we have many examples. For example, the Liberty statue, that is one of them, and then we have the Cristo Redentor in Rio, I believe. So just to have more ideas about it. So let's continue. So can I have now, Chicho has read Mariela Godoy?
Yes, teacher.
Thank you. Would you please read the...
Hey. Can you hear me, teacher?
Yes?
Okay.
Tell me.
The description of nature in art. It may capture mountains, valleys, bodies of water, fields, forests, and coasts, and may or may not include man-made structures.
Thank you. So what kind of art is this? Would you please send it on the chat box? Thank you, Ivan. Yeah, this is landscape. Remember when we talk about landscape, we talk about nature, mountains, valleys, and even a structure. Remember the example that I gave you was like we have water, and then we have like hills and cliffs, and we also have like some houses. If you remember the example from last class. So let's continue. Yeah, landscape. Can I have Celia, please?
yes, teacher.
Thank you.
A painting or drawing of an arrangement of objects, typically including fruit and flowers, and objects contrasting with this in texture, such as bowls and glassware.
Thank you. So do you remember how we call to this kind of art? Can you please send it again to the chat box, on the chat box? Remember, it says including fruit, flowers, and object contrasting with this in the texture. Realistic. This art is really realistic, Celia, so it's kind of close. Thank you, Ivan. Yeah, this is still life, okay? Still life. I don't know if you remember example that it was a cup of coffee. because I love coffee. So yeah, so let's continue with the last one. And can I have Chicho again for the last time?
Okay, teacher. The art of making 2 or 3-dimensional, representative, or abstract forms, especially by carving stone or wood, or by casting metal or plaster.
Thank you. If you remember what kind of art is this, please, you can send it on the chat box so we can then check. Any ideas? Okay, so this is sculpture. Yeah, thank you, Chicha. This one is sculpture. Okay, so have we got any question regarding this? Are we clear with this? This actually was kind of a review. If you could please react with a thumbs up if you're okay. Thank you. Great, okay. So now we're gonna go to the next part that we're gonna be working on. And here I would like you to pay attention because I will explain you something on about how we're gonna be working now so that it will be easier for you, okay? So let me just share my screen again. Okay, so this is like a tip for the class. I'm sorry, tips for the class. So now, starting now, we're gonna be working in groups, okay? Again, I will make groups over here. And then once you are in your groups, you can unmute yourself to interact and always in English. Remember, this is the moment in which we have to practice English. And you can also chat, okay, for ideas, for things that you're not, sorry, that you need to write. You can also do that. And then make sure you discuss your questions so that you can all share what you were discussing about, because we're gonna be discussing. And here are some expressions that you may use. For example, to give opinion, you can say I believe, or if we're talking about plural, we believe, you have in my opinion, in our opinion, and so on and so forth. We have how to agree. You can say, remember, me too, definitely, I agree, I couldn't agree more. And then how to disagree, you can say, in order, because to say, I don't agree with you is kind of rude, it's too strong, you always make it softer and you say, I'm not sure I agree with you on, I'm afraid I disagree, I see what you're saying, but, okay, so these are just different ways in which we can discuss about. Okay, so let's continue. So here we have three pictures, sorry. We have 3 pictures, and we have 3 different buildings. We have the Guggenheim, the Uffizi Gallery, and the National Palace Museum, okay? So, sorry, I'm just having sorry, my bad. I'm having some issues with my Zoom account, so I won't be able to make groups, but we can still debate about it on the chat box. Okay, so here we have 2 questions, okay, and we can all share our answers there. Okay, now I'm able to make the breakout room. So now, can you please take notes of this, or if you can take a picture with your phones of the screen so that you can remember the 2 questions we have. Do you know where these museums are located? Which of them would you like to visit and why? Okay, oh, and why, sorry. Have you taken the pictures or wrote them down? Can you please react with a thumbs up if you're done? Yes, no? Great. Great, okay. So now, as I told you, I will make the groups. You're not gonna be able to see the screen anymore, but you can discuss about these 2 questions, and then after 3 or 4 minutes, we're going to share it together, okay? Are we clear? So let's work on that. Hi guys, make sure you can you discuss over here. This is where you need to share your answer. Please make sure you are discussing about the questions that I was making. Thank you. Okay, sorry, you're back. Sorry, I didn't realize my mic was off. So, do any of you know these places? Sorry, we have the Guggenheim, the Uffizi Gallery, and the National Palace Museum. Do you know where the Guggenheim is? Any ideas? Yes, no? Again, you can send it on the chat box. Yes or no? Any idea? Maybe Germany. Okay, yeah. The name it's kind of Germanish. It sounds Germanic to me as well. Okay, Ivan says New York. Okay, maybe. Paz also say New York. Great. What about the Uffizi Gallery? This is kind of easy. Even the name kind of tell us the place. Any ideas about sorry, where these places are? Yes, Italy. To me, sounds totally Italian because Uffizi, it's so Italian. And the next one, the National Palace Museum. Any ideas? We have Taiwan, China, maybe. I mean, because of the structure of like the roof, we can kind of say that is Asian-like, but I don't want to tell you the answer yet, okay? Would you like to visit any of these places, any of these museum? And which one? You can say, I know, the Guggenheim, Uffizi, or would you like to visit any of them? Like in my case, I would love to visit the Guggenheim because it looks really, really modern to me. Okay, Enzo says he would like to visit the palace. Okay, yeah, it looks cool. I like the buildings. Any other one? Any other person? I don't know, Paz, baby Jennifer. Okay, Chicho says that he would like to visit the gallery. Nice. Okay, so now we can. Okay, you love Italy. Italy is really nice. Yes. Okay, so we can go to the next part. Now we're gonna listen to this. For this part of the activity, you can use your books or you can write down. It's okay. I know that some of you don't have your books, so it's completely fine if you just write down. It will be okay. So what you need to complete is the information about the buildings. You have the Guggenheim, how old is it? When was it built? We have it already. And who designed it, okay? And the same for the rest. So now we're gonna listen and then we're gonna check the answers. I just will stop screen sharing for a moment and then I will share it again, okay? Okay, there you go. So I will play it and please let me know if you can listen first.
Page 19.
Can you listen to that? Can you show me your thumbs up if you listen? Great, okay. So now we're gonna listen and please try to complete it, okay?
1.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Guggenheim Museum in exciting New York City. This is truly one of the most beautiful buildings in the city. Before we start the tour, are there any questions?
Yes. When was the museum built?
Well, the building was designed in the 1940s and it was completed in 1959. So, 1959 is the answer, I guess.
It's an amazing design. Who designed it?
It was designed by an architect named Frank Lloyd Wright.
Excuse me. We can't hear you back here. It was designed by who?
Sorry, Frank Lloyd Wright. FrankLloydWright.
Got it. Thanks.
You're welcome. Now, the Guggenheim is famous for its great collection of modern art. Some really wonderful abstract paintings are displayed here. For example, if you'll follow me this way, we can see an excellent
2.
So welcome to Florence, Italy, and welcome to the Uffizi Gallery, one of the oldest and most beautiful art galleries in the world. Now, before we begin...
Sorry. Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Thanks. This building, was it built as an art gallery?
No. As you can see, we are actually in a large and wonderful palace, the Palazzo Uffizi. The gallery is just a part of the palace.
How old is it?
Actually, the palace itself is almost 500 years old. It was built for the Medici family. At first, it was a kind of office. Uffizi means offices in Italian. Then, the family stored their art here. Eventually, the Uffizi was opened as an art gallery in 1765. Any other questions?
Yeah. Is this where the Mona Lisa is?
Actually, no. That's in France, but there are paintings here by many other famous Italian artists, like Caravaggio and Botticelli. There are also some great Dutch and German paintings. So if you'd like to come this way and look at
3.
Hello, and welcome to the National Palace Museum of Taipei. In a moment, we'll start our tour of the museum. But first, are there any questions?
when did the museum open?
Well, the museum opened in the 1960s and...
But the building is much older, right? It looks like it's hundreds of years old.
Actually, it may look old, but it's not. The building itself was built in 1965, the same year the museum was opened. Any other questions?
Yes. How many items are here?
About 700,000. This museum has one of the largest and best collections of Chinese art in the world. But not all of the items are exhibited at the same time.
So, how many items are on display?
About 15,000, and we change them every 3 months. So, if you come 4 times a year, you can see everything in about 15 years. Now, if you follow me this way, you'll see.
Okay, is it clear? Was it clear? Sorry, would you like to listen one more time to recheck your answer so that we can share at the end? Or we're clear? You can send it on the chat box. One more time? Okay, great. So let's listen one more time. Remember to take notes, okay?
Page 19. Listening. 1.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Guggenheim Museum in exciting New York City. This is truly one of the most beautiful buildings in the city. Before we start the tour, are there any questions?
Yes. When was the museum built?
Well, the building was designed in the 1940s, and it was completed in 1959. So, 1959 is the answer, I guess.
It's an amazing design. Who designed it?
It was designed by an architect named Frank Lloyd Wright.
Excuse me. We can't hear you back here. It was designed by who?
Sorry, Frank Lloyd Wright. FrankLloydWright.
Got it. Thanks.
You're welcome. Now, the Guggenheim is famous for its great collection of modern art. Some really wonderful abstract paintings are displayed here. For example, if you'll follow me this way, we can see an excellent
2.
So welcome to Florence, Italy, and welcome to the Uffizi Gallery, one of the oldest and most beautiful art galleries in the world. Now, before we begin...
Sorry. Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Thanks. This building, was it built as an art gallery?
No. As you can see, we are actually in a large and wonderful palace, the Palazzo Uffizi. The gallery is just a part of the palace.
How old is it?
Actually, the palace itself is almost 500 years old. It was built for the Medici family. At first, it was a kind of office. Uffizi means offices in Italian. Then, the family stored their art here. Eventually, the Uffizi was opened as an art gallery in 1765. Any other questions?
Yeah. Is this where the Mona Lisa is?
Actually, no. That's in France. But there are paintings here by many other famous Italian artists, like Caravaggio and Botticelli. There are also some great Dutch and German paintings. So if you'd like to come this way and look at
3.
Hello, and welcome to the National Palace Museum of Taipei. In a moment, we'll start our tour of the museum. But first, are there any questions?
when did the museum open?
Well, the museum opened in the 1960s and...
But the building is much older, right? It looks like it's hundreds of years old.
Actually, it may look old, but it's not. The building itself was built in 1965, the same year the museum was opened. Any other questions?
Yes. How many items are here?
About 700,000. This museum has one of the largest and best collections of Chinese art in the world. But not all of the items are exhibited at the same time.
So, how many items are on display?
About 15,000. And we change them every 3 months. So, if you come 4 times a year, you can see everything in about 15 years. Now, if you follow me this way, you'll see.
Great. Okay. So now that we have listened,
Page 19.
sorry, we can check. Okay. So, how old is the Guggenheim Museum? Here we need to do a bit of a math, actually. If you can send the answer, if you have it on the chat box, that would be nice. Any ideas? So, yeah, it's 61 years old. Yeah, thank you, Enzo. So, who designed it? Who was the architect who designed this building? Do you remember? Frank Lloyd, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Jennifer. Frank Lloyd. Yeah, here we have Frank Lloyd Wright. Yeah, very good. And so, yeah, very good. So let's go to the next one. We have the Uffizi Gallery. So how old is it? Yeah, 500 years old. Yes, 500 years old. Yeah, very good. Okay, yes. So when was it built? So here again, we need math. And did any of you do the math? So when was it built? If we do the math, that will be in like 1520 approx. Okay, who designed it? Do you know who was the person in charge of the design? Do you listen to it? Any ideas? Okay, well, actually, yeah, I mean, we didn't have the name of the person who designed, but yeah, they mentioned that it was built for a family, like a family built it, like not themselves, right? But they made that building for them, like for their a gallery, and then like offices, actually. What about the National Palace Museum? How old is it? Any ideas? It is 55. I think it's 65, I think. Yeah, we're gonna check according to the year. When was it built? 1965. Yeah, I think that's, let me quickly do the math. Yeah, it's 55 years old. Yeah, so we're fine. Who designed it? Very good. Paz, Ivan, Christian, Jennifer. So who designed it? Who was the person in charge of the design of this building? That is not that old. It looks old, but it is not old. Do you remember? Again, for this case, we have no information. They didn't mention who was the person in charge, okay? Are we clear with this part? Yes, can you show me your thumbs up, please? If you're okay. Thank you. Okay, yes, I can see you're reacting. Great. Okay, so we can go to the next part of this exercise, let's say, and we're gonna be listening again, okay? So here, what we need to do is we need to check true or false, okay? And as you can see, we have a location, we're talking about Spain, okay? And then we have another building over here, okay? So what you need to do is you need to check if the information that is given is true or false. And here you have the first sentence that you need to check on. Number one, Frank Gehry designed the Guggenheim Bilbao. Gehry called it the greatest building of our time. The curves are made from glass and rock. Bilbao didn't always have a lot of tourists. So let's listen and then we check, okay?
Page 19. Listening plus. Listen to more of the interviews. Answer the questions.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Bilbao, Spain. And of course, welcome to the Guggenheim Museum Bilbao. Many of you have come to Bilbao just to see this extraordinary building. As you probably know, it was designed by the American architect Frank Gehry. It was... Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have a question?
Yes, sorry. Frank Gehry. Didn't he also design the Guggenheim Museum in New York?
I'm glad you asked that. Actually, no. Let me explain. The Guggenheim Museum in New York and the Guggenheim in Bilbao are run by the same organization, the Guggenheim Foundation. But they have different architects. The Guggenheim here in Bilbao was designed by Frank Gehry in the 1990s. The museum in New York was designed by a different man, Frank Lloyd Wright, in the 1940s.
Oh, right. Thanks.
Anyway, as you can see, the Guggenheim Bilbao is a very beautiful building. It was called the greatest building of our time by another well-known architect.
What about these metal curves in front of the building? What are they made of?
Great question. The curves are made of titanium. They were designed with a special computer program. Other parts of the outside of the building are made from glass and limestone, which is a kind of rock.
So, how did this museum change the city of Bilbao?
Well, before the museum was constructed in 1997, Bilbao was a quiet little city. Now millions of visitors are drawn to this city every year. They come to see the museum, like you, but they also enjoy the great food and culture here.
One question. The outside of the museum is beautiful, but what's inside the museum?
Mostly 20th century art is shown here, and works of art from the New York Guggenheim Museum are exhibited here sometimes. Now, if you'll follow me...
Okay, so is it clear? Do you need to listen to it one more time? Yes? No? One more time? Okay, sure.
Page 19. Listening plus. Listen to more of the interviews. Answer the questions.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Bilbao, Spain. And of course, welcome to the Guggenheim Museum Bilbao. Many of you have come to Bilbao just to see this extraordinary building. As you probably know, it was designed by the American architect Frank Gehry. It was... Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have a question?
Yes, sorry. Frank Gehry. Didn't he also design the Guggenheim Museum in New York?
I'm glad you asked that. Actually, no. Let me explain. The Guggenheim Museum in New York and the Guggenheim in Bilbao are run by the same organization, the Guggenheim Foundation. But they have different architects. The Guggenheim here in Bilbao was designed by Frank Gehry in the 1990s. The museum in New York was designed by a different man, Frank Lloyd Wright, in the 1940s.
Oh, right. Thanks.
Anyway, as you can see, the Guggenheim Bilbao is a very beautiful building. It was called the greatest building of our time by another well-known architect.
What about these metal curves in front of the building? What are they made of?
Great question. The curves are made of titanium. They were designed with a special computer program. Other parts of the outside of the building are made from glass and limestone, which is a kind of rock.
So, how did this museum change the city of Bilbao?
Well, before the museum was constructed in 1997, Bilbao was a quiet little city. Now millions of visitors are drawn to this city every year. They come to see the museum, like you, but they also enjoy the great food and culture here.
One question. The outside of the museum is beautiful, but what's inside the museum?
Mostly 20th century art is shown here, and works of art from the New York Guggenheim Museum are exhibited here sometimes. Now, if you'll follow me...
Great. Okay. So now we can go and check whether the answers are true or false. So let's check number one. It says, Frank Gehry designed the Guggenheim Bilbao. Is it true or false? Again, you can send it on the chat box. Okay, true, true. Okay, most of you agree that it's true. Great, let's check. Yes, it's true. So what about number two? Gehry called it the greatest building of our time. True or false? Enzo says sorry, false. We have some true here. True, true. Okay, let's check. It's false. Why? Remember that the speaker says that Gehry was the person who designed it, and others architects called it like the greatest building of our time. Is it clear? Why? Yes? No? Please send it on the chat box. Okay. So let's go to the next one. The curves are made from glass and rock. Is it true or false? False. Thank you, Enzo. Thank you, Ivan. Okay. Great. Okay, many of you sent already the answer, the true answer. Yeah, is made of titanium. Yes. Thank you. It's false and it's made of titanium. So last one. Bilbao didn't always have a lot of tourists. Is it true or false? False, according to Ivan. False. True, according to Enzo. Okay. Let's check. It's true. Just take a look. It says didn't always. So in the past. Now, because of the Guggenheim Museum, they have a lot of visits. Okay. As Vivian said, million of visits. But now, because of but in the past, before they have the Guggenheim They didn't have, it was like just a small city with people, you know. Okay, so now the coordinator needs to talk to you for a moment, and then we're going to continue. Miss?
Hello, Eduardo. How are you?
I'm
Hello,
fine, thank you.
class. How are you? My name is Raquel Martins. I am the coordinator for the adult program, and today I'm here to discuss with you the evaluation, okay? I'm going to do it in Spanish because this is a procedure to make sure and to avoid that there is no confusion about it, okay? Entonces, lo que voy a hacer, como sé que tienen muchas preguntas, es escribir en el chat mi correo electrónico. 2 en realidad tengo. Les voy a pasar uno que conviene que hagan captura de pantalla. Ok. Ahí tienen uno y el otro es, les paso ya enseguida, anoten o saquen captura de pantalla. Ahí tienen mis 2 correos electrónicos, ¿ok? Lo que más quería discutir con ustedes es la evaluación semanal. Tenemos una evaluación, thank you Edward, tenemos una evaluación semanal a medida que se termina una unidad. Hay un mini test que se denomina quiz, que está en la plataforma que hay que hacer para seguir avanzando en el curso y poder tomar el examen final, gente, ¿ok? Entonces ustedes hoy entran en su perfil, van a ver una carpeta que dice Quiz 1, que es la evaluación de las primeras unidades que ya se dio la semana pasada. Y ese quiz o mini test va a estar disponible solo hasta el sábado. A partir de hoy tienen 24 horas, hoy, mañana, ¿okay? El sábado para tomar ese quiz. Y les recomiendo que lo hagan para poder seguir avanzando en el curso, y vamos a tener siempre cuidado de ir a la plataforma y hacer las actividades porque es parte de la nota para poder pasar el curso. Sé que están con preguntas, que están con dudas, que van a entrar en la plataforma, algunos no van a poder entrar, no van a saber usar. Están los super genios, ¿verdad? Que ya saben todo, genial, fantástico, pero para si alguien que se tranca cuando está haciendo la evaluación o los ejercicios y no sabe cómo seguir, para eso yo vengo a ofrecerles mi ayuda. Estoy disponible, les voy a guiar en todo lo que ustedes necesiten, o les voy a poner en contacto con nuestro equipo para que ustedes puedan terminar exitosamente este curso. Mi visita hoy es muy breve. Nosotros tenemos que continuar con la clase. Entonces yo ahora me voy a despedir de ustedes. And back to Eduardo, to continue teaching this wonderful class. Okay? Thank you, Eduardo, for having me.
Oh, thanks to you, Miss.
Thank you. So see you next Saturday. Okay?
See
Bye
ya.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye, sweetheart. Bye bye.
Happy Mother's Day, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, great, guys. So we're going to continue. We have just 2 more questions, and then we're gonna be done with the class. So I'm so sorry this class will extend just a bit more, but I really want to know your answer. So let's go really fast to the next one. And we have 2 questions that I would love you to answer. It says, answer these questions in your groups. We're just gonna do it quickly, sorry, in the chat so that we don't spend a lot of extra time here. It says, which of these 4 museums would you rather visit? Sorry, it's just 3, my bad. Remember we have the we have the Guggenheim Bilbao, we have the Guggenheim New York, we have the Uffizi Gallery, and we have the National Palace Museum. So we have 4 actually. So which one would you like to visit? You can just send that on the chat, and then we are gonna go to the next one. Which one we have 4, and which one would you like to visit? Okay. In my case, for example, I would love to visit the Guggenheim Bilbao. Okay, Enzo said that he would like to visit the Guggenheim in New York. Okay, that's interesting. I haven't been there, but well. Anyone else? I don't know, Chicho, Christian, Jennifer, Paz. Which one would you like to visit? Anyone else? Okay, so let's just go to the next one then. So mention some of the museums you know in your country or city. So do you know any here in Paraguay that you can visit? Imagine I'm a tourist and I don't know any. So which one? Okay, Chichos es Panteón de los Héroes. Okay, we have one. Have we got another one that I can visit? Now I have Panteón de los Héroes. Any other museum? De Cabildo, yeah, that's a really good one. Casa de la Independencia, very good. The Independence House, yeah. And now we're Independence Day, so it will be like a good recommendation. Perfect. One last so that we can finish. Museo Nacional de Bellas Artes, yeah, that's a good one. There is, and my recommendation for you, in case you know it, will be the Museo del Barro. It's kind of around the Goethe School. So if you would like to visit at some point, you're invited. It's awesome. Okay, so that will be it for today. This is our today's class. And please, as the coordinator said, remember to your quizzes, start working on them so you can be like on the same track and you don't get like pile up with a lot of work. Yeah, and that's pretty much. Happy Independence Day. Remember to wash your hands and to drink water. Okay, so bye-bye and have a great weekend.